Hello, I'm Andrew from i4 Automation.
I'm Tom from i4 Automation.
Today we're going to talk about a special offer. We've put together a starter kit to help people get started using the Unitronics equipment hardware. We've put together a PLC, a programmable logic controller, a couple of cables to connect to it, and a small 24-volt power supply, along with a 2-day training course over at our premises here in Cambridgeshire. So the software is free to download, so that's everything you need to get yourself started and give it a go. We will give you an option if you want to buy a light panel. Now, a light panel is a bit like the HMI, the screen that you'd use, but it comes with its own VNC screen built into it, a virtual screen, that's the word I was looking for. So we'll just sort of show you that. We'll unbox it and show you what you get for your money in terms of this kit that we're doing.
Yeah, great bit of kit, really good to get you started on doing some automation processing, some automation systems. And then this PLC we're looking at, this one's actually got built-in I/O in the PLC itself as well, hasn't it? Which is really good. So if we come over and have a little look at the equipment, if I unbox it for you, it's an all-in-one virtual HMI PLC. So we're looking at PLC, virtual HMI connected via the Ethernet ports here, and these Ethernet ports actually work as a switch. So we've got Ethernet ports straight on the PLC there, but you've also got your I/O right along the top of the system here. So we've got our digital inputs along the top, as well as a couple of analog inputs, which are 0 to 10 volt and 0 to 20 milliamp, which can be configured. But then also along the bottom, we've got our digital outputs on here, which has got 2 banks of regular outputs, as well as another bank of 2 high-speed outputs, which is a really good thing to have on a piece of kit, especially at the price that Andrew's selling this at, as this starter kit to get you going. We've set a really good PLC, SD card slot in there. You've got power for 24 volts down the bottom, and you've also got a USB host port on the PLC as well, so you can export files directly to a USB. You can run that out to the front of your panel. I've seen people do before, so it's really handy for that. Really, really, really good bit of kit to get you started. And we're not just including the PLC, we have also got the cables to connect it up. So we've got an Ethernet cable here for programming and to connect to a virtual screen using the VNC client server system that Andrew spoke about before. We've also got a USB programming cable, so you can program this on just mini USB if you want to. You don't have to worry about the IP addresses. And also a really solid power supply from a fantastic power supply manufacturer, Lutz, which is 72 watts, 24 volts DC power supply, really good bit of kit. DIN rail mountable on the back as well, just like the PLC is. So you can have both of these units mounted, DIN rail mounted inside your panel, and then you can walk up to it with a phone, you could walk up to it with a laptop and actually connect to the PLC and see the HMI, the virtual HMI on the PLC itself. And what we do is we connect extra I/O modules on the side here if you want to, and then extra COM modules, serial comms, CAN bus comms can be attached on the other side like that. And that can all just go nicely into your system. But for a starter kit, really good bit of kit to get you going. I think.
I was going to say that comes with the different I/O. So let's have a look. That's got 10 inputs and 2 analog, 2 PWM outputs, high-speed outputs, and 8 relays. And as you say, they're banked together, so they're banked per common.
Yeah.
So you can then limits the amount of current you can do in terms of the common.
Yeah, so I didn't realise this has got relay outputs as well as transistor outputs. Yeah.
So it's a combination model. So the 22 refers to the number of inputs and outputs you've got. It's one of about 10 in the range. There's 10 different I/O configurations, plus, as you mentioned, the I/O cards that can be added to the unit.
And these are voltless relays, are they? So
Fault-free contacts, so you can switch any voltage, whether it's mains voltage,
amazing.
110, etc.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that gives you an idea. So what we're going to do is let's wire it up.
Yep. Okay.
And show what happens when you take it out of the box and put some power onto it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so now we've got 24 volts connected to the PLC here. 24 volts just coming from that power supply.
We've not used the power supply because the power supply is brand new. We're hoping to sell that to a customer, so we just used our training room power supply.
And then we've got an Ethernet cable here, RJ45, Cat6 shielded cable. I'm just going to connect that directly into one of these Ethernet ports. And as you can see, the lights start lighting up to say that it's trying to establish a connection. And then it starts to flash to say that it's sending and receiving signals to and from our VNC client. So this has got a VNC server built into the PLC, and then I'm just using a VNC client here on my laptop to show you the demo program inside that PLC. But you could easily just use a touchscreen, one of our touchscreens.
How did you know the IP address for you to connect to it? You just plugged it in and it started working. It was like magic.
Yeah, well, the default IP address of this PLC is actually, I know what it is, 192.168.1.4, but if that's not the case, then you can just connect USB up to it, change the IP address via a USB host file, or you can just connect to it via USB and download another program with a known IP address into it. So now we've got that connected, I'll just show you the VNC connection. So this is the VNC connection to our PLC. As you can see, it's just running a demo application here, and I'm just running a random VNC client. I go into the demo application and we can see bits of information about the software if we want to on there, as well as information about the hardware. These are just images and stuff that Unitronics have added into the demo to show you how it all connects up. But we've got a system simulation in here, which allows us to just see how the HMI can run quite nicely. If I just run the system, we can see how the HMI graphics work on this system really quite nicely. And it can just go through and run just like that whenever you need it to.
Okay, so to get started, what do you need? You need the hardware, obviously, from us.
Yep.
We've got the 2-day training course here in Cambridgeshire at our premises, and the software that you can download regardless of whether you want to go ahead with it or not. Just have a look at it and have a play.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got everything that you need on this system, however you want to do it.
Okay, so you've got a VNC connection there to the PLC, and we're just showing what's running on the screen. But you could also have like a traditional HMI connected to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got those in 5-inch, 7-inch, 10.1-inch, 15.6, and of course the new 21-inch screen.
Yeah.
Presumably they're all different resolutions.
Yes.
So how does it know what resolution to?
So you set that up inside your program. So you can set up a VNC resolution override so that it always goes to the same resolution, or of course you can match that up to the screen that you're going to be using, and then you can have that so that it always goes to the correct resolution that you've got available to you on your HMI screen. But if you're using a VNC client like we are here, we would just set that to the maximum resolution available to us and be able to go through and do it like that. But it all depends on how you want to use the system. You've also got web servers on there if you want to be able to connect to the HMI from a web browser instead of from a VNC connection.
And honestly, that's quite nice, isn't it? Because you actually build your screen like you would normally.
Yeah.
Press one button and it converts it all into into HTML code for a web page.
Yeah, UniLogic's really good with that. You just right click, like you say, and say turn it into a web browser, a web server, and it just does it straight away for you. There's a couple of elements, a couple of image elements and stuff like that that won't convert over to the web server, but it will tell you that and it gives you a little warning during the programming.
Okay, so as we're connected now VNC, you could connect to any of those screens.
Yep.
You could also, let's say you've got a 21-inch screen, you could connect to different PLCs, or even if you've got a control room with a couple of PCs or big screen PCs, you could then connect to the different VNC client servers. Now, and bring them back into it, so you've got your whole control panel.
Yeah, so you can have multiple clients connected to your single server. I've also got a system out at the moment which is connecting multiple PLCs. So you can be at one PLC and you can see all the other PLCs via VNC that you've got connected on that site because they're all on the same network. So you can actually just go in from one PLC, and it's built into the programming of it as well. So you can actually just go in, press one button on the screen, and it will connect to one of the other PLCs if you want to. So you can see what's going on somewhere else in the plant, which is really quite handy, as well as having the web server, which gives you a screen independent of what's actually being viewed on the HMI.
And if you wanted two screens on one machine?
Yeah, absolutely fine. You can have two screens on one machine, either with web server, or you can have multiple clients going into that one.
So it's quite, you've got all the building blocks there. So what we're offering you here is a starter kit to really get you started. So you can have a play with it. You've got the PLC, you've got the power supply. Power supply is how many watts? 72 watts. So if you did want to upgrade and go for a big screen, it's maybe not big enough, but we can sort something out for you on that. Yeah. You might need a bigger power supply for that.
But that power supply will power all of the outputs built into this PLC straight away.
And what we're also doing is offering a special price on the screens. We're not included the screens in the starter pack because there are 5 different screen sizes, and it's really up to you what size screen you want. And you don't need the screen to get yourself started. So exactly. And this is, if anything that you want to automate, anything that you want to do, this PLC is really capable
capable. It's got extra protocols on there, MQTT, you've got EtherCAT, if you add on the EtherCAT module on there, Ethernet TCP, Modbus TCP, you've got TCP IP connections.
Connect to the IO link.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got the EV charger.
Yeah.
Redfish if you want to go to the cooling.
Yeah, this is a really capable piece of equipment. It really is.
So you can do lots. Okay, so the special offers there, it's only while stocks last. It's $499.99, so £500. It's £1,400 off list basically.
And that is including training, PLC, power supply, cables, literally.
Well, we're trying to get people started. You know, we did one of the podcasts we did recently. We went through and told people really how to start on a project, how to start programming. We spent a bit of time on that because we get asked it quite often. You know, people have got an idea, they want to automate something, and they're not sure where to start. So on the back of that, you know, we've gone through and said about flow charts and how to start building that. And now what we're doing is a special offer on the hardware to really remove those barriers and let people get into factory automation and move things forward.
That's amazing. I can't believe that you're managing to get that starter kit out there. I guess it goes with our ethos of just trying to get people into the automation.
Get them started,
get them using the Unitronics equipment.
Remove those barriers.
Yeah.
So only while stocks last. So, you know, I hate to say it, but it's hurry, hurry, hurry.
Yeah. I might be getting my hands on one of these, so make sure you get them while you can.
Well, if we sell them all, you won't be able to. Keep in touch with us, keep like and subscribe, and we'll keep you updated with what's happening next.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.